Hello everybody and welcome back to F1 2016. This is the British Grand Prix. We're second place in the championship, just 7 points behind Lewis Hamilton. Can we take the lead in the championship or will we stay in second? We're going to get into the race and find out.
We're right back where it all began. The very first World Championship Grand Prix was held here at Silverstone in 1950, with Giuseppe Farina taking the top step of an all-Alfa Romeo podium. He earned 9 championship points that day on his way to the inaugural title. His winning total at the season's end, just 30 points. My, how times have changed. So let's see who can reach the top step of the modern podium today. Straddling the border of Northamptonshire and Buckinghamshire, the 18 corners of the Silverstone circuit form the 3.6-mile beating heart of Formula One. It's been reinvented over the years, with Turn 1 now the fast right-hander of Abbey, along with 2 DRS zones on the Wellington and Hangar Straights respectively. But the magic of racing is as strong here as it's ever been. I'm joined again today by none other than Anthony Davidson. Tell me, Ant, obviously there's a lot of development work that goes on with these cars between the races. You've been both a test driver and a race driver. What differences are there in the way you approach those roles?
Interesting question, Crofty. They're two very different mindsets. I mean, when I tested for BAR, we had full in-season testing where, per driver, you'd cover up to 15,000 kilometres per season. And in that role, it was more about working for the team, trying to help them improve the car and drive as systematically as you could, so that that data could be analysed in the most consistent way. When you're lining up on the grid for a race, however, your frame of mind's all about what you can get out of the situation on that day, and the car's the tool to help you achieve what you want. You still want to focus on setup, of course, but it's more about the here and now, getting yourself as far up the field as possible, and less about development work for the future.
Okay, I know it's your home Grand Prix, but treat it like any other race. Don't take unnecessary risks.
So before the off, let's remind ourselves of yesterday's qualifying session with a look at the starting grid. It's Renault in pole position then, with Daniel Ricciardo slotting in alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Vettel, Verstappen, Fernando Alonso and Sainz, Haryanto, Hülkenberg, Kvyat and Felipe Nasser, Button, Raikkonen, Lewis Hamilton and Rosberg, Massa, Wehrlein, Romain Grosjean and Sergio Perez, Ericsson and Palmer, Valtteri Bottas and Esteban Gutierrez completes the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
So here we are on the grid. We've got 3 lights, we've got 4, we've got 5. And away we go for the British Grand Prix. Bit of a poor start, lots of wheel spin. We very nearly dropped it on the grass. That's allowed Vettel and Ricciardo to go through as we go through Farm Abbey. And it's turn number 3. Verstappen's trying to go around the outside. He's still there, so we're going to give him a bit of space. And he does indeed go through, so we've dropped down to 4th place off that very poor start. As we go down the Wellington straight, we've got the slipstream on Verstappen, so we're going to have a look down the inside and we get that position. We're side by side into Brooklands. Going to give him a bit of racing room. And we are through up into 3rd place. Now let's see if we can get Vettel and Ricciardo. Lap number 2, and we have indeed caught up to the back of Sebastian Vettel as he's behind Daniel Ricciardo. Ricciardo on the medium compound tyres, Vettel on the softs, as are we, as is Haryanto behind us.
Green flag.
Not quite sure how Haryanto got there, as we set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix so far with a 1:34.4. I would just like to point out that qualifying was wet, so that's why Haryanto's a bit further up, Alonso's a bit further up. Quite a lot of the front runners, including the 2 Mercedeses, are actually quite low down the field. We've got the DRS on Vettel. As we come into Brooklands at the end of the first DRS straight, again, we're going to give him the racing room. But we've got the position. We're up into second place. Ricciardo is the next target. Looks like we've dropped Vettel as well. But he obviously got a bit balked by the overtake. Not stupid enough to go down the inside at Cops. Although we're going to have a look down into Maggots and Beckett's. Very nearly hit the back of him there, but we're going to give him the space, try and get the run out the corner. We're going to have DRS anyway down the hangar straight. And, well, it's pretty easy actually. Into the lead we go. Bits of debris on the racetrack from whatever incident it was the lap before. Lap 7 of 26. You can see the tyres are quite heavily worn. And we have the virtual safety car deployed for an incident involving Daniel Kvyat. As you saw there, he's out of the race. Let's have a quick look at his incident. Oh, and it's Palmer! Palmer crashes into Daniel Kvyat as he comes out of the pits. Here's another angle. There's Palmer coming out of the pits and just rejoins straight in front of Kvyat, and Kvyat straight in the wall. Not quite sure where his tyre's gone. It's sort of warping around in the tyre barriers there. Lap 10, we've made our pit stop. As you can see, we're on the medium tyres. Kimi Raikkonen has not stopped yet. He started on those medium tyres. Got the fastest middle sector of the race. And there we go, Raikkonen pits, and we are back in the lead of the Grand Prix. Rosberg doing a good job. He's up in third place. I believe he also started on those medium tyres as we set a 32.8 for fastest lap of the race. And yeah, nothing else happened for the race. Rosberg somehow is second and Raikkonen is third. As we come out of the last corner to win the British Grand Prix. Our home Grand Prix. Which is good. And that means that we definitely take the lead in the championship. Because if you remember, Hamilton was only 7 points in front of us at the time. Going into it. Nice to see the monitors on the pit walls finally render in. And the crowd goes wild as I stand on top of the car. Valtteri Bottas in 7th place, the new Mercedes driver in real life. Replacing that man on my right, Nico Rosberg.
And they're just itching for even more. Congratulations to the Renault team for their excellent win today.
And here comes the champagne. After yet another victory, we're starting to really build some momentum and establish ourselves in this championship hunt for season 2. Can we keep this up? There we go. Rosberg, Raikkonen and Hamilton all gained places. They started 14th, 12th and 13th respectively. Everybody else pretty much fell down the grid. Massa finished 17th, so that's not good for him. And there you go. We now lead the Drivers' Championship by 6 points. Kimi Raikkonen is 3rd, Rosberg is 4th, and our teammate there in 6th place. Bottas passed Hulkenberg. Ricciardo overtook Verstappen in the Drivers' Championship too. And there's the Constructors. Hope you've enjoyed this one. The next race will of course be the Hungarian Grand Prix. So yeah, keep in tune for that.
Hi, got a minute? I've just
Oh, hello.
negotiating the final offer. How does a new contract sound?
Delivering us a new contract. Let's have a look at the offers. We've got a current deal with Renault, move to the second driver of Toro Rosso, McLaren, or Haas. Yeah. I don't really think I'll be going for Toro Rosso or McLaren. McLaren's doing quite poor. Haas also isn't doing too great. So, yeah, I think I might stick with the Renault team. At least until a better offer comes along.
Great. I'll get it to admin.
Good, you do that with that nice back off. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this one, and I shall see you next time for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Do take care of yourself.